Tonight on the show, we have a superstar who's discovered singing the beautiful and haunting Pia Jesu on television. Let's see if we can do it again tonight.
Pia Jesu.
That is beautiful. Let's start the show! Hello, everyone, and welcome to a brand new series. We've got a fantastic lineup for you tonight. Voice of an angel. She's not judging you. Charlotte Church is here. Yes, she is. Now, Charlotte, you know, she has been in the tabloids. Some of her exploits have landed her in the papers. And just because she likes a party doesn't mean she's some gobby Welsh lass. You know. Joining us, comedian Russell Howard is here. They love the Russell. They're loving him. Russell, of course, has just started a new series of his show, Russell Howard's Good News, where he looks at the upbeat stories in the papers. And I have to say, there's been so much good news over the summer. You know, the Chilean miners got rescued. Robbie Williams rejoined Take That. And Russell, Brad and Katy Perry are finally tying the knot. Oh. Now, the wedding is in India. And apparently, some of Russell's ex-girlfriends are going. They've already had the rehearsal. These are the bridesmaids. Ah, that's them before they met Russell. Here they are after they met him. Also on the show, Hollywood comes a-calling. Oscar-nominated actress Maggie Gyllenhaal is here. I love Maggie. So many great movies like Donnie Darko, the Batman film Dark Knight, and of course she was Oscar-nominated last year for Crazy Heart. But she's currently in Britain, and I'm not making this up, seriously, this is true. She's making a film set in Victorian London about the invention of the vibrator. No, truly, you look interested now, don't you? Oh, really? Now, not sure what an early Victorian vibrator would look like. Still not entirely sure. Mind you, we do have a picture of someone using it. Hey, let's get some guests on! She's Welsh, and she was a famous miner. It's Charlotte Church! Oh, beautiful! Hello, lady. Hello. I'm very well. Sit yourself down. Charlotte Church, everybody! And holy Oscar-nominated actress, it's the star of Dark Knight, Maggie Gyllenhaal is here! Woo! Hello. Hi. Nice to see you. Charlotte, Maggie. Hello. And there's more good news. It's my favorite comedian, Russell Howard. Hello. Very nice to see you. See yourself down. Oh.
Hiya.
Hello. Sophisticated dress.
Geography teacher.
Now, Maggie, you're here working at the moment.
Yeah, just about to start working.
Oh, so you haven't started yet?
Well, we're rehearsing, picking costumes and things like that.
Okay. So I'm right, it is about the person who invented the vibrator.
Yes, the person who inadvertently invented the vibrator.
Wow, that's a story already.
Yeah.
You sound like you're in great pain.
In the turn of the last century, you know, there was this whole thing about hysteria, about, you know, any ailment that a woman had, they'd say they were hysterical. And one of the ways to make them feel better was to get them off. So they're, what do you call it here? I don't know.
That'll do.
Rub one out.
The show has only just begun.
So, you know, there'd be these doctor's offices where you could go in and have an orgasm.
The NHS is very different now, isn't it?
And in the film, are you playing American or English?
I'm English.
English? And you've done it before. You've been Nanny McPhee. You did the English accent as well.
Yes,
I did. And do you feel confident with the English accent?
I think most American people would kind of secretly like to be able to talk English now and then. So I feel pretty good about it, and I quite like it.
Because have you wandered in your accents into the regions?
No, but I've been hearing you two wander into the regions, don't you?
She hasn't wandered anywhere.
Yeah.
She's like...
Stuck.
Can I hear Welsh?
Okay, so if you said something like, "Oh, that's a beautiful boy."
Oh, it's a beautiful boy.
See, that's that thing of, whoa, Indian.
Yeah.
Can you do it?
Come here. That's a much easier word to learn.
And how about you? What's yours?
I'm from Bristol, so very shy, the Bristolian people. She's, I guess, all right, my lover?
All right, my lover.
Yeah. Gert Lush is another thing. If something's
Gert Lush?
if something's amazing, you'd say, oh, that's a Gert Lush sandwich.
Oh, it's a Gert Lush sandwich.
There you go.
Somebody from the West Country once told me that they call woodlice Granford Crouchers.
Do they?
Yeah.
I think they might have been mocking you, Sean.
Maybe a little bit.
And while you're here, are you able to kind of walk around and not be bothered?
Yeah. Nobody's that interested in me here.
Show her some love. Mob her. If anyone's got some time over the next few days, stalk her a little. She'd appreciate it. No, because Russell, now, with your ever-increasing television fame, are you getting spotted a lot now?
The weirdest one I had recently was in a strip club. Wait, I don't get it. It was my mate's stag do. I've never been before. It's the weirdest moment. I genuinely haven't, right? This girl was sort of dancing for my mate, like that. Not like that, she didn't have rickets, but but halfway through, she just went, I've got your DVD. And then bizarre moment where I want to go, did you enjoy it? Yeah, quite enjoyed it. And then she started whipping my mate, but that's another story for another time.
Yes. As Charlotte Church, you can't go anywhere.
No, a little bit.
Because some people who are complete tabloid fodder, like the Kerrys and the Katies of this world, you kind of think they courted. But it seems to me you've done everything right. Like, you live in Wales.
Yeah, I kind of tried to stay out of it all, stay in Wales, but they follow me down there, man.
But why?
I don't know. People find me interesting, apparently. I have no idea why, because I'm really uninterested. I mean, like, the highlight of my week when I'm home is going shopping. Food shopping, which is pretty generic, really, folks, I think you'll agree, but...
Yes. I've seen you do it.
Yeah.
In the papers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But Ruby's not happy about it at all. My little girl, Ruby, she doesn't like it. She goes off.
And, I mean, I do feel for you, because, of course, you have been in the papers a lot, and going through a breakup's horrible, particularly when there are kids involved and everything, but normal people, when they go through a breakup, you can then not see that person. But in a high-profile relationship, of course, Gavin's there. He's on telly, he's doing Strictly and everything.
Yeah.
Does that make it harder?
I suppose it is a little bit odd. It is pretty odd, but I think, we've both been really grown up about the situation. I don't know how the hell we've managed to do that, but we've both managed to be pretty grown up about it and just kind of do what's best for our beautiful little babbers. And I watch them on Strictly every week because the kids love it. Yeah, so it's okay.
Are you voting for him?
Of course.
Well done.
Damn
And
right.
how do you think he's doing?
I think he's doing really well. I was really shocked, actually. I was really shocked. I think he's doing really well.
Because, I have to say, this is odd for my mother to have this theory.
Yeah.
My mother thinks he should have a drink before he dances.
That is something that Katja's apparently said to him as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My mother's so good, isn't
Yeah,
she?
absolutely.
Yeah. Alicia, get off that panel. Rhoda's coming.
What is this?
It's like Dancing with the Stars.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I have to say, right, because I was working with you, and it seemed like, in my head, 1 minute I'm going, and ladies and gentlemen, Charlotte Church has just become engaged, yay! Yeah. And then the next minute, all off. I mean, what happened?
Well, I think it was something that had been happening for a long time, to be honest, and that was just kind of like our last chance at it because we had 2 young children, so we did really want to make it work, but we both just decided this is inevitable and we'd rather not do it when the kids are 7 or 8 or whatever, so just kind of do it then, which was tough, but, I think it would have been tough at any stage, to be honest.
And you're now going out with somebody else, so you are, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that isn't me beating you with the stick and making you say that. You are, aren't you?
Yeah. I love it.
We're not going to talk about it.
OK.
But all I want to know is, because how old are you now?
24.
24. So this time, going into this one, are you kind of playing it differently? Have you learnt lessons?
Oh, I've learnt many lessons throughout the years, Graham.
Yes. Never drink cider.
Pretty much. Jack Daniels is even worse. Yeah, definitely. I think so. I think as you grow older, I think you... And also, I've got 2 young children now, and they are the centre of my life, and they are what my every decision kind of revolves around in terms of work, relationships, whatever. So, yeah, I suppose I approach a lot of things differently. I approach work differently as well. Just because, well, I'm a bit of a lazy bitch, to be honest, and I kind of want to be home with my babies for most of the time.
And the other thing is, because the papers kind of concentrate, we then see mental stories about you.
Yeah.
Because you must find that, kind of working in Hollywood and being in kind of a movie.
Yeah.
No, but you must read stories about yourself that are just like, really?
Someone showed me one recently that said, was some people had heard I'd had plastic surgery and were trying to figure out where. And also they were sort of saying, where could she possibly have had plastic surgery? Nothing looks all that much better. And I'm like someone who I don't really dye my hair, you know? It's just like kind of I mean, everyone's always making things up. I'm sure you find that.
Yeah, I apparently had the gastric band. I lost some weight and I had a gastric band, apparently.
But that's true, isn't it?
No, of course it isn't true.
I think I've probably got the oddest tonight. I read something about myself that somebody said that I look like the kind of straight bloke that would be quite good at gay sex, but I'd cry afterwards. So let's see that as a challenge, Graham. And
I like the way someone's thought that through.
all from watching me on a panel show.
But wasn't there a thing about your mother or something, or that you'd made so much money, or...
Oh, yeah, someone said, it was in the paper the other day, that I'd made £4 million last year, so I was delighted, and I rang up my agent, and he said, no. My mum had already planned, like, a boob job, and actually, let's not put that on telly, she did. Of course she did, and I don't know why I said that. That'd be the weirdest phone call ever. $4 million, these are getting done.
But then on top of the press...
So sorry, Mum, if that's going on.
She'll love it.
Yeah.
But on top of the press, then obviously there's you know, the fans that are out there. And I would have thought doing a movie like Secretary, which is such kind of very sexy, very kind of cult film, and it was kind of the first time we really kind of got to know you. Did that kind of expose you to a world of weirdness? I avoided saying weirdo. I thought I did well.
Did you ever get spanked in public? That's what he's trying to say.
No, it is not.
You know, the thing I find interesting is when someone will say, I've seen Secretary a million times, you know, it changed my life. You know, and will, like, really look me in the eye and sort of say, everything's different now. You know? And that's an intimate thing to hear from somebody, and, you know, probably has to do with their sex life, you know?
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing, isn't it? Because most normal people don't go up to people. They just go, oh, Charlotte Church, and they just walk past. But it's genuinely odd people that come and say, hello. I was in Tesco the other day and this bloke was following me around and I was aware. And then he went, can I look in your basket? And I showed it to him and he looked so disappointed. It's just not funny. He wanted it to be funny food, like and 2 bananas or something like that. It's just Weetabix. Like I've let him down.
Because we're talking about the press makeup things, but it's not just the press. Fans do too. Now, are you aware of this forum? Do you know the Charlotte Church?
I've heard about it, yeah.
Because these fans, Charlotte Church fans, Charlotte Church.net forums, what they do is it's so sweet, yeah. But they put out scenarios, right, with a kind of what would you do if, right, and it involves Charlotte.
Well, what would I do if, or what would they do?
What would they do?
Right.
If.
OK.
So, and honestly, these are just, you know, we didn't search... These are just... This is the tip of the iceberg of the madness.
Moses, man.
OK, so, imagine you're hiking through the desert, right? Now, this is where we're going. So you're hiking through the desert and see in the distance someone on a camel riding towards you. It's a hot, hot day and your water rations are dangerously low. As that person gets closer, you can tell it's Charlotte. She looks very much in need of a beverage. Hello. You can give her your remaining water and risk severe dehydration yourself, or ignore her and hope she makes it to the nearest oasis soon. What would you do in this desperate situation? By the way, you also have a large can of pineapple juice in your backpack, but forgot to bring along an opener.
I love ignore. That's the best thing. Like, you're wandering through the desert and you're meant to ignore Charlotte Church on a camel. You want to just go... Yeah, exactly.
She won't want to be bothered.
She's very private, really.
But, so, bless them, they love it, they read it, they think about it. They think about, what would I do if I did that?
This is going to be quite revealing.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I'm quite comfortable with this.
Here we go. I would say, this is what I do. I would say, if you can open my can of pineapple juice, I'll give you half plus the water. Then again, if it was a small can, I wouldn't. I'd just say, if you can open my juice, I'll give you the water. Maybe I wouldn't do that either. I've no idea. So much more. There's just a couple more. You find out Charlotte's extremely mad at you and plans to track you down and club you over the head with her classical Brit award.
I've still got it.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Yeah.
Where would you hide? Now, again, someone's thought about it. I'd have to alter my appearance, wear a disguise and change my lifestyle completely. I'd enlist in the Foreign Legion and wander the globe. I'd never sleep in the same bed twice, nor let anyone know my real name. Maybe 25 years later, she'd cool down and let me live a normal life again. And what's the last one we picked out? The last one is, oh yeah, one day you awake to find a moving truck right outside your house. You say to yourself, I wonder who's moving in, blah, 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 blah. Then you realise it's the one and only Charlotte Church. You run and do your morning routine, put some clothes on, and rush outside to finish the sentence. Okay, so you rush outside to...
Okay.
Okay. I would tell her not to disturb the turtles that make their home in our yard. They are endangered, and my dad, Dave, would go nuts if anybody, even Charlotte, disturbed those precious turtles. Next post down. They are tortoises. I love this one. Come over tonight, because I'm making a huge party, and you're the main guest. Talking of obsessive fans, Maggie, I was telling you beforehand, because I couldn't wait to compliment you, I know I watched Crazy Heart even before I knew you were coming on the show, so I actually genuinely watched Crazy Heart. Oscar-nominated. That was a big thing, isn't it? I mean, it's a huge thing. And I wondered, because last year, it was one of those weird years, because Monique and Precious, obviously, she... kept winning for Best Wife.
Yeah.
So, lovely to be nominated.
Yeah.
I guess what I'm saying is, did you bother to write a speech?
Okay, here's the thing. I had never been nominated for an Oscar before. I was beyond thrilled, honestly, really.
Of course you were.
Just to be there.
Yeah.
And didn't think for a second I was going to win. I mean, I think I was the surprise nominee anyway.
Well, is there a little tiny...
Yes, and here's the thing, and this is the wild thing. It's like, really, 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 I did not have anything invested in winning. I would love to win an Oscar one day. I would, but last year I don't know if I could have managed it. I was totally happy just to be there. At the same time, when you're there and you're like sitting in this huge theater and they show your clip and all the things you imagined, and there's that one little minute where they're opening the envelope, and I mean, in a rational way, there was no chance I was ever going to win. But just for a second, you think, oh, my God, like, I might win. And then, they're, like, opening the envelope, and they say, Monique. And so that's a little like Maggie at first. But then, of course...
Imagine if it had been someone with a stutter announcing that. No, come on!
When I didn't win, I was... massively relieved. I was like, oh, thank God. Which is not to say I wouldn't love to win one day. You know?
And, of course, famously, your brother, Jake Gyllenhaal, he was nominated for Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah.
And he didn't win either. So did he give you advice on kind of, you know, gracious losing?
You know what? To be honest, I don't think I needed any advice on gracious losing. I've done it a lot.
And did you go to the parties and everything afterwards?
Yeah, I did. And, you know, you have little kids. I have a 4-year-old. I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't stay up all night. I just, you know, it's hard to manage. Yeah, but you're 24. I'm older than you are. I stayed up all night. I had a great time. Yes, I danced with Madonna.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
So how does that... Did you ask her? Did she ask you?
No, I mean, I'm 32. I was like 8, 9, you know, when she was like virgining and doing all that, and I was crazy about her. And you know, somebody came up to me, and this was like the 4th party, like 4 o'clock in the morning, and said, "Do you want to meet Madonna?" And I was like, "Yes." Yeah, I know, exactly. And she,
Madonna who?
yeah.
Anyway, Madonna.
So she was like wearing a hat and looking super hot, and she didn't even say hi. She just kind of like nodded at me and started dancing.
Oh, that's creepy.
And
Just nodding, and then that must have weirded you out. Not even a hello?
it was not creepy.
Oh.
It was something else. It worked. She
It works for Madonna. If I did that, if I went up to just a girl and just went...
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Madonna does it, get out.
Yeah. Madonna can do things that no one else can do.
And so she's nodding and dancing.
She's nodding, gets up, starts dancing with me. I'm drunk enough that I'm just
Nodding.
going with it, dancing. And then she's like a crazy good dancer, and I danced with her for like, I don't know, 30 seconds or something, and then she just lost me. And she kind of started dancing with other people, and 2 girlfriends were with me that night, and they kind of ran over and they were like, "You were just dancing with Madonna." And we were talking about it for a minute, and we look over, and my husband is totally dancing with Madonna. And totally handling it. And way better than I did. And I kind of thought, like, what's better than that?
Did you dance with Shakira?
No, I didn't dance with Shakira. I did James Corden's chat show with her. And there was this bizarre moment where James Corden said to Abby Clancy, "Are you enjoying the show?" And Abby Clancy went, "I'm bumming it," which was like a catchphrase they had. And then he pointed at Shakira and went, "How about you?" And Shakira pointed to me and went, "I'm bumming him," right? So I was like, excellent, this is going to be... And then it was the bizarrest moment of my life when, during the advert, Shakira turns to me and went, What's bumming? And prepare for a moment like that when you go... I genuinely found myself saying out loud, "Well, Shakira."
You can say it to me, because I don't know either.
OK, well, let's imagine oh, God, how does my life get to these moments?
Yeah, next chat show will be... And then I was sitting next to Maggie Gyllenhaal, and she asked me what's bumming.
Well, it's anal sex. That's the long and short of it, but I didn't feel like I could say that to Shakira. I don't know why. But so I said, "You know when a man and a woman really, really like each other?" She was nodding, and then for some reason I did a sound effect. I went, "You know normal sex? Well, it's like that." And she knew. She suddenly went, like that. And then her people go, "It doesn't mean that, it doesn't mean that, it means to say hello." But it doesn't! She's in Glastonbury at the weekend. The last thing she needs to do is wander out of Glastonbury. "I'm bumming you all!" So, that took so much pain to my girlfriend.
Now, this man here, Russell Howard. Yes.
Thanks, one lady.
No, more than one lady. What's that? It's a heartthrob. A heartthrob.
Come on, let's move on.
I will. Your new series of Good News started last night.
That's right.
In real terms. And let's have a look at the clip. This is a clip of the show that I was last night.
Now, whatever you're doing, stop for a minute, because this next story is wonderful. Get ready to meet Britain's longest married couple. This is great. You're going to love it.
107-year-old Ralph and 101-year-old Phyllis have been married longer than any other couple in Britain.
So, what's the secret to a long marriage?
She goes her way, I go mine. No.
We just hang out in different rooms.
Look at this. He tries to tell them about his adventures. She's got other ideas.
I've explored Rivlin Valley right from Malin Bridge right up to the Downs. Wherever you
Would you like a coffee or anything?
Wherever you could swim in Rivlin, I used to swim.
I'm fine, thank you. He does talk a lot, though, doesn't he?
He does. Gets on your nerves.
They've been married for 77 years.
77 years.
Fantastic, yeah.
Or terrible. One or the other. And how do you... I mean, do you just have a huge team of people, or do people send you stuff now?
No, it's just... I write the show with me, myself and 3 of my friends, and we kind of just scour the news for kind of anything that we think is interesting, we tell our friends about, and then we write jokes around it. So that's the way we do it.
And also, it must be one of those weird things where, for a show like that, you know, because obviously it's called good news, but you're looking for news, essentially. You want things to happen. But it must be that thing where you don't want something too big to happen. Like, you don't want a really bad thing happening.
Well, no, but I think it's so interesting, like the Chilean miners is kind of one, like, such an amazing story. It's so rare that there's a news story that is genuinely good. You know, we were all watching it, weren't we? We were all excited when they came out. And there were loads of really funny stories. Like Super Mario, which was one of the miners that came out. They offered everyone a wheelchair, right, as soon as they came out. And his first quote he said was, "I've had a bed made up. I won't be needing that wheelchair, but my wife will." Now, if you can't celebrate something that fun this week, what can you do, you know?
Now, here's the thing. Your big, huge tour.
Yes.
Now, when does it start? Is it in the new year?
It starts in February, yeah.
So how many dates are you doing in total?
19.
90?
19.
Oh, I was going to say, Christ.
Yeah.
You look terrified.
Miss Lazy over here.
For you.
90?
For you. Yeah.
I used to do really, really long tours. Like, the last big one I did like sort of 80 dates, and just went a bit mad. You know, you're in a hotel. I took my mum on tour with me. For like, not for the whole time, that would have been... But for a week, I took my mum.
Is she going to go on this tour?
She'll come for a bit of it, yeah. Well, it's quite good fun seeing your mum on... Like, my mum was on stage at Wembley, pretending to be a stand-up in an empty room. It's funny, isn't it? Just being like... "Oi, Wembley, how you doing?" It's just an amazing moment to have your mum acting like, you know, your mum in front of imaginary audience.
But she loves the fact that you're getting well known, or you are well known.
Yeah, she loves it, yeah. The last time I went home, my mum was like, "Come on, let's go into town. I want people to know that you're my son." So, yeah, so we were like, joining. She took me to a pet shop, like that. Just walking around. She's like, "Should we get some dog food? Russell Howard off the telly." My mum's insane. She spent last Christmas, she spent about 40 minutes doing an improvised song on a karaoke machine about taking my nan shopping.
That's some tough stuff
she just kept on going. "You mustn't ever linger, we got to buy fish fingers." It was, we were just in trance, just watching her go on and on. "Should we go to aisle 3? No, thank you, don't need chalk ices today." We sat there going, "This is a breakdown, this is what it looks like." But my dad, rather than deal with it, my dad went, "Somebody get the camera phone now." We recorded about half an hour of it.
And do your family mind that you talk about them in your set?
Not really, no, you know, it's sort of fine. My family are just funny. It's got an old... My granddad, like, my nan recently had a pacemaker fitted, and my granddad won't let her near the microwave. Right? I said, "Why is that?" And he generally went, "In case she explodes." But he's true. He goes, get away, come on." I killed for the meal for one. But, you know, I don't think they mind, you know.
Because your dad, mate, he was quite... Was he an embarrassing dad or not an embarrassing dad?
He was unusual, you know? He was kind of, he used to do yoga in parking lots and stuff. Wow. When we would be driving, you know, we sort of go...
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I'll go with embarrassing then.
Yeah, he did it, I mean, intentionally to upset us.
Fantastic.
You know, so he was kind of... My dad...
That's what I'm going to do when I'm a dad, just deliberately try and make their life hard.
Yeah. My dad once, when I was like 14 and my parents were having lunch outside with some friends, and we were, you know, and they just... I was saying, like... I was 14, and I was like, "You guys are so boring. You never do anything surprising. You're so kind of bourgeois." And my dad took a pie from the table and smashed it in my face. He did.
making a point. But in terms of embarrassing parents, Charlotte's mother, she must be award-winning.
She's pretty special, I'm not going to lie to you. Pretty special.
Is she still as bad?
Oh, worse, man, worse. Because
when you were little, because the thing is, because you were little, so you'd no control over this embarrassing creature.
Well, no, because like
Wait till you hear.
I got invited to some like amazing places, like so when I'm like 14 and I'm at the MTV Awards in New York, and Busta Rhymes is there, and Destiny's Child, Jay-Z. Jay-Z and sat in front of me, and he kind of turned around and he's like, I'm a really big fan of your work. I can't wait to hear your performance afterwards. And I'm like, oh my God, it's Jay-Z. I'm gonna have a meltdown. And my mum's like, who the hell's he? And then I presented an award to Eminem, and I literally had to coach her for about 5 minutes how to say his name. And
what was the thing about the breastfeeding?
Oh, really? All right, so my mother breastfed me till I was like 18 months, and she made a point of like telling everyone this, but lots of people in my career as well when I was a bit older. But she said, the thing is, babe, you were like 18 months, so you could walk and talk by then. So she used to come over to me and say, titty, mammy. I'm trying to be a serious artist, mother.
The thing is, your extraordinary childhood. I mean, you were travelling all over the world, meeting all sorts of amazing people. I've got your book here.
Yeah.
And there's pictures of you meeting all sorts of people. There's the big boss.
The Queen.
Meeting
Look
the Queen.
at the dress.
Wow.
Oh,
Apparently,
both of us, to be
well,
fair.
she looks like she's auditioning for Joseph.
The 90s. The 90s, eh?
The 90s.
The Queen and Joseph, wouldn't that be a wonderful world? I closed my eyes.
There you are. There's a little tiny snap of you meeting George Bush there. Because isn't the thing true about him?
Yeah, he said to me, I met him a couple of times, but the first time I met him for his inauguration, actually, which was scary, because there was so many protests and stuff, because everybody thought that it was a fix, blah, blah, blah. But that was the first time I met him, and he said to me, what state... He said, where are you from? And I said, Wales. And he said, what state is Wales in? And I thought, oh, love. If you don't know where my country is, you should at least know that it's not in yours. Which was a little worrying. So I tried to let him down easy and say, look, it's his own country between England and Ireland, but we won't really talk about it.
And how old were you when you were outwitting the president?
I think I was 14.
Wow, that's a different level of thick, isn't it?
Very special.
Well, there you are with Bill.
It's Mr. Clinton.
You're lucky you're only 14 there, let's be honest.
Oh, no, I'm
Now, I think that the time has arrived. This is the new album, Back to Scratch, and very exciting. Charlotte is singing fully live band, live vocal, everything. I'm really, thank you very much for doing that. So, this is your album. I mean, you produce it, you're doing it all yourself.
Yeah.
And also, you didn't just record it in your garage in Wales, which if I was paying for it, I would.
Yeah.
I wanted to. No, but you went to Nashville and things, didn't you?
I did. I went to Nashville and sung over in Nashville with loads of amazing people, and Nashville is an amazing place.
I'm going to make a movie in Nashville in the spring.
It's so cool, just saturated with music, and we stayed in a place called Lipus Fork, which was like 40 minutes from any other type of civilization, and there was a grocery store there called Puckett's Grocery Store. And
remember this for next spring.
It's really cool. Every Thursday and Friday it turns into like an open mic venue. So then you have all of these stereotypical like cowboys with cowboy hats and a guitar singing about their tractor. And then their little son will come on and be amazing on the fiddle. So I had to get up because I'm a bugger for it. So I had to get up and I tried out some of my new material and it was pretty cool.
But they must have been gobsmacked. Isn't that Charlotte Church voice of an angel?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody was very confused. Yeah, where's that sweet little girl? I was like, she grew up, honey. She grew up.
So listen, it's your record label.
Yeah.
So there is some financial pressure on you to flog these. I mean, is that how you end? I mean, because it seemed unlikely when I saw in the paper, like you were on QVC selling it.
But the difference with the reason that I did something like QVC is because it is totally about the music, and I have been a bit slated for that, but. You know,
presumably you sold a lot of albums.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, and by the way, when you're leaving, Charlotte will be outside with a car boot full of them. So...
Come to me with reduced prices
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
round.
Yeah. Now, I know you're not singing the single.
Back to Scratch.
You're not singing that. So tell us a little bit about what you are going to be singing.
OK, I'm going to be singing a song called Don't Think About It, which is an album track. It might be a single at some point, but I just kind of want to give people a little taste of the album.
Yeah. And tell me, Charlotte, if I was to buy this, does it come free with the plastic covering things?
You can actually get a free 12-card calendar.
Really?
Oh,
Is that in full colour?
In full colour, with every date on it too, Graham.
What terrific value, Charlotte. No, seriously, we are really looking forward to you singing. So, are you singing Shoes Off?
Shoes Off, I can't do it.
Shoes Off, a la Sandy. OK, if you want to go and get ready, the band away. There she goes. Now, in a moment, we'll be hearing the first stories of the new season in the red chair. But first, singing Don't Think About It, it is Charlotte Church!
Like me when I'm out walking. Lonely men looks like us when we're through talking. Lonely man looks like her in a dress and stockings. Lonely man looks like me, but he's not worth stopping. So don't pay no mind, don't even think about it. He's just another madman trying to get at it. You're so fine, you don't have to think about it. You already got me under your spell, and I admit it, I don't even know you well. Hey, 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 yeah. Teacher man, his head hurts, his brow needs mopping. Teacher man, interesting but not worth stopping. Teacher man, looks like her when she looks shocking. Teacher man, telling all but learning nothing. So don't pay no mind, don't even think about it. He's just another madman trying to get at it. You're so fine, you don't have to think about it. You already got me under. You don't have to think about it. You already got me under. You don't have to think about it. You've already got me under your spell, and I admit it, I don't even know you well.
Charlotte Church, how's it going? Come on back, girl. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Very welcome.
Come and sit down, come and sit down. That had a kind of bluegrassy feel, didn't it? Yes.
Yeah, I kind of think that's kind of like a spit and sawdust in a bar, singing that in a bar and starting, you know, kind of
It's terrific. It's a
yeah.
great sound.
Thank you.
Really good. Congratulations. Honestly, I really hope it goes really well for you.
Thank you very much,
All right.
dude.
Excellent. Listen, before we go, we've just got time for a story or two in the red chair. So, who's up first? Who do we have first? Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Now, I don't know if it's the perspective, but you look like you've got the longest arms in the world. It looks like that Kenny Everett thing, doesn't it? What's your name, sir?
Rusty.
Rusty?
Rusty?
Yeah.
Is that short for anything?
No.
Rusty.
Rusty.
Rusty. It'd be weird baptising somebody. I call him Rusty, but you only just got wet. So, Rusty, off you go.
OK, well, I just moved to London and I got a flat with a flat share site. Obviously, I didn't know the people too well. Anyway, it was my first day back from work. I was pretty hyper and there was no one in the flat. So I was dancing about, and then as I was getting changed, I thought, I know, as there's no one about, I might get naked. So as I was dancing around the flat naked, doing a bit of a jig, I did a twirl, turned around, and my flatmate was there with his parents, who don't speak English.
Actually broken. People are going, it appears so. I like the fact that the parents didn't not speak English made that story somehow worse.
It definitely did, though.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, definitely. Because, you know, when he's trying to explain himself, then he's going to have to translate and, you know, be messy.
Is there much to explain, Charlotte? He's just naked and dancing.
Yeah, but it's the reason why. He's had such a good day at work. I've had good days at work, but I've never thought I'm going to get naked and dance.
Really?
Not really.
I thought it was a regular thing.
I was mentioning that you work in Tesco. It went really well today. Why not? Yeah. I'll pretend Madonna's over there.
I love that nodding, yeah. It's very good. Oh, we think we've got it mended.
Me.
Oh, you shouldn't shake him off for that.
Now you're going to throw him off?
Yeah.
That's a good story.
Is there any way to make it?
Yeah, people have made it. Not him. I love it. Is there any way to make it? Do we have time for one more? OK, one very last one, then we're out of here. OK. Hello. What's your name, lovely lady?
My name's Kira.
Kira. And what do you do, Kira?
I'm a student.
Of?
I do advertising and marketing.
Advertising and marketing?
Yeah, I'm from Plymouth.
That's West Country twang, I know it is.
Do you know Russell?
No, we don't all know each other just because we're from...
It's worth asking. You never know. You never know. Right, my dear. Off you go with your story.
Okay, so basically, I really, really fancied this guy, but I didn't have the courage to talk to him. So I thought if I get really, really drunk, then I might get some Dutch courage, and it didn't work. So I said to my friend, we need to do something. So I said, I'm going to faint. You need to clear the area, I'm going to faint. This was in a club. So I fainted, and she shouted, clear the area, clear the area. And after that, he still didn't notice me. So I thought, right, I need to really step it up now. I got on the dance floor, got some UV glow sticks going, put one in my mouth, and I accidentally bit through it. Next minute, I was vomiting green UV rays all over the dance floor, and he still didn't notice me.
Well done, you! There, you see? Somebody made it through. Well done, you and your green bar vomit. Listen, that is it. If you'd like to join us on the show and have a go in the red chair, you can contact us via our website at this address. Thank you to my guests, Charlotte Church, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Russell Howard. Join me same time next week. Good night, everybody.